So I'm working on putting some quilting onto this butterfly and flower that I painted. I actually used Derwent Inktense pencils. They look like a colored pencil, but the lead, the part you draw with, will turn into a paint when you wet it. So you draw it on and then you use a paintbrush and carefully wet the lines that you've drawn, and it kind of blurs out and turns into paint. Problem is that on fabric it'll tend to bleed, and in some places you want that, in some places you don't. Where you don't want it to bleed, what you can use is a textile medium. It's thicker and it doesn't absorb into the fabric and make it spread. So you can use commercial textile medium that you can buy in the craft store, where they sell the little bottles of paint, and that works fine. And some people use an aloe vera gel, the kind that you would use on your skin, I assume, which also will get the paint wet and activate it, which makes it needs to get wet to absorb into the fabric and become permanent. But if you use that gel or the textile medium, it doesn't spread. So that makes it better for more accurate places where you need to get little tiny lines. Anyway, what I'm doing now is quilting over it. I've got black thread in the machine, and I'm going over the black parts of the monarch butterfly here. You would not probably need to do as much quilting as I'm doing. You can certainly just do an basic outline. A lot of the quilting I'm doing is actually covering up my painting, but I guess I don't have a real problem with that. Just use the painting for a guide for the quilting. Now, this technique could be used on a much bigger scale. I'm just doing a very small kind of an art quilt here, and that's because I'm just trying out fabric painting with this kind of pencil, and just wanted to sort of get a feel for how the whole thing finished up would be. But I can envision using the technique to make individual quilt blocks. You could draw any kind of patterns on them and make your own customized printed fabric type blocks for a little kid's quilt, maybe with the alphabet on it, or stuff, little animals, that kind of stuff. But I like to paint what I know, and this is what's going on in my garden lately. There's flowers with butterflies on it, so that's why I did this. I've got 40 weight cotton thread in the machine. I wanted some bold thread, so I'm using a pretty heavy thread and a 90-14 needle. The machine I'm using is my Singer 3115, which is a bigger machine. It's an industrial sort of machine, and because it's industrial, a lot of people will think, well, that'll sew through anything, and it doesn't. This is not designed for real heavy sewing. It's designed for high-speed sewing and primarily garments. So it's perfect for quilting. If you have one or you see one, don't think that you're going to be sewing leather with it. Even though sellers will often say that it'll sew through leather. It might sew through it a few times, but not something you want to do regularly. Anyway, I don't know if you can see how that kind of highlights the design and really makes the color stand out even more because of the contrast. Darker thread makes the lighter fabric that's next to it stand out more. So there's that, and now next I'll finish up quilting in this flower. I've already got a good bit of the quilting on the leaves done, and then when I quilt the background, I'll quilt that real heavily and press it all down, and I'm going to use, even though my paint job on the back is just kind of blotchy and green, I didn't want to put a whole bunch of detailed stuff in the background. I wanted the design itself to stand out. So this will probably be just a stippling to fill it in and kind of push it down, make the rest stand out more. And I'll show you a little bit of that when I get going on it. So I started filling in the background, and I'm using a very small double stitch, which is just circles, little circles. And you certainly wouldn't need to make them as small as I am. Most people make them quite a bit larger, and that's fine. I also think, as I was working on this, I was thinking, you don't have to be able to draw and paint to do something like this, because a lot of fabric that you can buy has a quite large print on it to begin with. You can buy a large print fabric and then just really get creative quilting over it. All you need is a few different colors of thread and you're good to go. So even if you don't want to paint your own picture, lots of fabrics have already done that for you. You can see it in the picture, but no, it's not going to show. Let me tilt up. There's the threads I used. I got a yellow and a black and two different greens, and that's it. I'm actually going to add one more color, more of an orangey yellow, to do some more lines in the flower, and that'll be all I need, really. I intentionally painted the background on this very splotchy in two different colors of green, and because I knew that I was going to quilt it this way, and the quilting actually sort of pulls it together and makes it look more cohesive, uniform, whatever, but it still leaves some variation in color. But the same color thread throughout brings it together. And as I get out to the edges, I am going to make these little double stitches bigger. That'll give it the illusion of being lighter around the edges and darker in the center. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. I've been kind of under the weather, and I haven't really been able to get a whole lot done, but a couple of days ago I got these pencils from a friend, and I did a little quick drawing on a piece of white fabric, and finally today I'm getting it quilted. I've used 2 layers of batting, and I did that because I knew I was going to quilt it real heavily. So it's not to give it a lot of loft, because I'm basically quilting it so much that it's squishing out any loft that it has. But the extra layer will make it stiffer. And because I'm intending this to be a wall hanging, it's better if it's nice and stiff. So I got 2 layers of warm and bright polyester batting, or warm and white, maybe it is. I don't know, it's the white polyester, or the warm brand polyester batting. Got 2 layers of that, and I've got a green piece of cotton fabric as backing, and I spray basted this together. I didn't want to deal with pins, so good old spray basting does the job. I don't really like to spray baste a full-size quilt because it takes so much, but on these smaller pieces, I think it's an easy way to get it done quickly. Well, I don't know, I think we can get the idea of where this is going. And rather than have you watch me make 8 million little circles, I'll shut the camera off now, and I might come back and show you another one when I do the binding and the hanger on the back. So until then, happy quilting.